Hello, ladies, all my female hockey players. Some of you I worked with in Penticton, my Canada Winter Games team, and some of you I worked with down in Langley at I think it was a U12, 13, 14 camp. So just a little review of some of the things that we covered, just as a little reminder as you move forward. So for my Canada Winter Games girls, I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Red Deer. It's about a month away now, so still a lot of time in order to work on some of the mental training systems that we started to develop. And so what we'll do today is just remind you of all of those little things. And for everybody, I'll make sure that we get a workbook out to you. So if you don't get a workbook in the next little while, you can just always email me. My email address is dave@ripplerockconsulting.com. And if you just Google Dave Freeze, my Ripple Rock website should show up there, and you can just send me a little email there, and I'll make sure you get a workbook. So with both those groups, I started by telling 3 stories. So the Roger Bannister story of breaking the 4-minute mile, and Roger's moral to his story is that it is extremely important that you believe in yourself. It's extremely important that you trust yourself. It's extremely important that you believe what it is that you're doing is possible. And I think I reminded you all that none of us know how good we can be or how great we can be. So as we move forward, we just need to stay really positive and assume that the best is going to happen. Just a really good story about what it is that you're about to do today, a really good story about this week, this month, this year, and extend that story right into the future. And just assume that everything is going to work out great and that we're just going to continue to get better and better and better as we go. So you've all got some great opportunities at this moment in time. I know some of you already sort of have a bunch of years mapped out, whether it be in the next sort of level of development or as you look towards the future and going to university and those sorts of things. So all sorts of good things happening. The second story was about the marathon monks. And of course, the moral to that story is when the mind and the body become connected in a very sophisticated way, clearly anything is possible. Because a double marathon every morning, 100 days in a row, is really, honestly, physically impossible unless you have this incredible mind connected to your beautiful body and you're just like kind of pushing it and pushing it and pushing it as far as you possibly can in order to produce amazing results. So we all have this very cool athletic body, we all have this mind, and it's about the notion of connecting those two things together. So they don't start out on huge runs like that, just like you don't start out, as a 6-year-old hockey player going to the Olympics. We develop ourselves into those people. And as the monks develop themselves into these amazing long-distance runners, you're developing yourself into an amazing hockey player. And you just got to kind of do it one day at a time. But you have to have this ability to connect the mind and the body in a really sophisticated way. So staying positive, believing in yourself, trusting yourself, those are the keys to that. Going negative, doubting yourself, worrying, those are the things that crush that. So we want to stay positive. We want to continue to trust ourselves and believe in ourselves. And the third story was really the story about Hernando Cortez and what he needed in order to get his little army aligned for what it is that they had to do. Was he needed a game changer. So what he did was burn the boat, so there was no longer safe passage back to Spain. Apparently we're going to die or we're going to win, right? So that's a game changer. And so for us, what we have to do is we have to go to practice every day knowing we want to get the best out of ourselves. And sometimes you have to have some little tricks in terms of motivating yourself, getting that drive to push yourself. And, we'll talk a little bit more about Girl A and her willing to make herself uncomfortable. And that's the game changer. Discomfort is the game changer. It's what separates out girls that get good from girls that get great. So those were the 3 stories. Then we looked at a bunch of different models, and so we'll just do a quick review of some of those models. So the first one was this notion of the big 8. So we need to be calm in the mind, relaxed in the body. We need to stay grounded. And my definition for grounded is I like myself, I like what I do, I like how I do it. I got a plan, seems to be working, I'm following it. That's a pretty grounded athlete. And so calm, relaxed, grounded. Number 4 is centered. That's the ability to change my mind. So you have to have a plan, and then you got to have plan B and plan C and plan D, and be able to change your mind as we go. Positive, of course, the mind works way better, and it's just way more enjoyable, and it's a much happier experience of sport if we can be positive. Patience is our ability to hang on to the 5 things above it. When you lose your patience, you don't stay calm or relaxed, you lose your ground, you can't change your mind, and you go negative. So patience is that thing we need in order to buy ourselves a little bit of time, in order to get ourselves straightened out and keep going. And then the last 2 are focus and effort. And focus and effort are the things we put in the speedometer. And the speedometer, we just need to make sure that we can find this little place here in the middle. So over here, we're not enough. Over here, we're being way too much. So over here, we're careless. We're not trying hard enough. We haven't focused. We don't have a plan. Over here, interestingly enough, we've gotten right through this great zone of where we do our best work, and we've gone a little bit too far. And this is really common in really competitive situations, or when you really want something sort of badly. We often try a little bit too hard. We think a little bit too much. So it's a little bit like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Porridge was too cold, too hot, just right. The chair was too small, too big, just right. The bed too soft, too hard, just right. And you got to figure out how to do just right. And just right is really that place we call carefree. It doesn't mean you don't care about anything. What we care about is only what is essential. And that's good preparation, good mind-body connection, get out on the ice, keep your big 8. That's essential. The big 8 are essential. Calm, relaxed, grounded, centered, positive, patient, effort, focus. Those are essential. And then just keep buying yourself a little bit of time. Keep at it. Don't worry, don't doubt. Just know that you're going to bring out the best in yourself. Sorry, my phone is dinging away here. I'll just shut that silly thing off. So, the next model that we looked at was the bubble model, which is like one of my favorites, and athletes constantly tell me that it's a model that really works well for them. So here's my little hockey player inside her bubble. She's got her big 8. She's going to be accurate. She's going to be a great forechecker. She's going to be a great back checker. She's going to go into the corners and come out with the puck. She's a great teammate. She's really going to chat up her line mates on the bench. And at the same time, when she's out on the ice, she's going to find open ice. She's going to call for that puck. She's going to look for that great pass. She's going to take those shots when they're available. She's just solid. And all you girls can be that girl. And so long as you don't let anything in your bubble to ruin that party, you should have a great training session. You should have a great game. The trouble is there's lots of things that try to get in there, including what people say, and you're going to make lots of mistakes as a hockey player, because hockey is a little bit like mistake management. There's lots of errors. You just got to keep moving forward. And of course, there's ice surfaces and lighting and referees and officials and your competition and life and injuries and tired and coaches and parents and siblings and mental trainers, and everything's trying to get into the bubble to ruin the party. And your job is simple. Start every day with a little bit of quiet reflection, decide who you're going to be, arrive early, do some mental preparation, get your mind in the game, set up your bubble, and then go about your training and go about your competing by working really hard to keep everything out of the bubble. That's essential. And that's really not that hard if you practice and practice and practice. And you'll be good at it in games if you do a really good job of being good at it in practice. But don't think you can go to practice and not have to do the work and then be able to expect to do the work when you're in a game. So really, we pay way too much attention to what the hard work we do in games and not nearly enough to making sure we do the hard work in practice. So by treating every practice a little bit like a game where you got to get yourself up and do the work, then that really seriously helps. And then the last thing that we looked at, I think, was just this model, this girl A, girl B. And girl B, there's nothing wrong with that girl. It's just she improves really slowly. So she wants to be safe and she wants to be comfortable. She loves to be happy. She wants to be enjoying herself. She wants it to be easy. And as a result, she doesn't make much progress. And so that girl, you should leave at home. And you should bring this girl to the rink. And girl A, man, she gets better faster. And what's the main reason? It's that she's comfortable making herself very uncomfortable. Uncomfortableness is the key, right? And she likes it when it's risky and a bit challenging, and she's happy to struggle, and she knows she's going to have failures and make lots of mistakes. It's okay. She's just going to manage them well. When it's difficult, she's very appreciative of it. She's just going to stay patient, do the hard work. And she makes lots of improvement. And that's really a cool thing. So that's our girl A. So we got the big 8, we're in the bubble, and we got our girl A. And if you show up every day with your big 8, seriously inside that bubble, not letting anything in, the sense of an invincible girl, you're going to do great. And then you just light that girl A on fire, and you go have a ton of fun. And you encourage your teammates and your line mates to find their girl A and go out and do the work. And it's contagious. Like, we're all inspired by girl A's. You know those girls on your team. You know those girls around the league that just show up every day. They don't make a big deal of anything. They just do the hard work, make themselves uncomfortable, and they get better and better and better so fast, it's crazy. It's available to all of us. Okay, just before I let you go, just a couple of things, just some simple reminders. When we're in those low performance moments, just remind yourself that your skills do not abandon you. What happens is sometimes we abandon our skills, and they're always there. So you just got to refocus, stay patient, stay positive, and get them back to work. So those skills, ladies, that you've been developing, those really nice bundles of intelligence in that subconscious mind that you can really trust and you can really believe in, those skills are available to you at all times. And sometimes we abandon them. And sometimes it's crazy why we do. But it's just like stuff gets in the bubble and then you kind of give up a little bit. So they're always there. Last thing here is just a little thing from my football coach in grade 11 and grade 12, Earl Henderson. Awesome guy. And he used to remind us all the time that it's not what we do, it's what we do next. So he used to say to us, I don't care what you've done, good or bad. All I care about is what we're about to do next. Make a plan, move on. And that's what we got to keep doing. We just got to keep resetting and just get back at it. Because your skills are there. You know you can get in the bubble. You know you can find your girl A. We're always working on getting better and better at our big 8. And we just do it one day at a time. So for you that are working your way towards the games, I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're just going to light it up every day. You're going to get access to my time anytime you need it. And I'll come and sit in on some practice time and try and be there for the games and get the crowds going. We'll have a lot of fun with it. And we're just going to do it one day at a time. But you got lots of days before the game. And so we just need to make good use of every day. Most important day in an athlete's life, in their long career, most important day is today. Got to make sure we make good use of today. It's the only day we got. And if you don't, I don't want you beating up on yourselves. I just want you to ask yourself to do better tomorrow and do better tomorrow. That's how you get out of it. So on the days we disappoint ourselves, that's okay. It happens, but let's just get on another good run. So let's do better tomorrow. Let's be inspired by that and then do better the next day. And then you get on a good run again. And then you just keep it simple, keep it moving forward. So that's 15 minutes from me. Looking forward to seeing you all in the future and having lots of fun. In the meantime, get in the bubble, find that girl A, get that big 8, and go have yourself a great practice. And we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.